Theouton, love, peace, blessing, all manner of abundance and goodness, healing, health, all manner of prosperity and blessing unto you and your family. And this morning I was thinking about the power of expectancy, and very, very powerful. It's another key to the subconscious mind. And when we really, really, truly expect something as a belief, it is very frequently manifested. It's a very, common reoccurrence in, our everyday situation where we're expecting certain responses, we're expecting things to go a certain way, and the real problem is negative expectations, or limitations in our expectancy for our own good, for our own benefit, for our own blessing. That's where the problem really lies, because when we can create a positive expectancy, that is beneficial. And like we were talking about in a previous video, how we all know somebody who everything just seems to work out for them. They always seem to be having good results in life. They always seem to be the one who wins. They always seem to be the one who something fortunate and beneficial always happens to. And when you get a chance to talk to or know people like this, you'll always find that they have a positive expectancy. They just expect, not in a demanding way, not in a forceful way. They just peacefully expect life to be good and for good things to happen to them. And there was a spiritual healer that one of his things that he used to say and bless people with is, something good is going to happen to me today, as Oral Roberts. And just saying that, and proclaiming that, just believing that something good is going to happen to you. It's going to happen to you today, not in who knows when, far off, distant fairy tale future, but today, right now. And beginning to cause a positive expectancy to happen now, and to happen in the now. And of course, we know that the now is all that there is. The now is all that is real. There is no such thing as the past now. There is no such thing as the future now. There is only now. So the only reality lies in right now. And expectancy, or expectancy that has been affected negatively, that your expectancy can only be negatively impacted from the past by a past experience. And what happens is, again, the feeling is the prayer. The vibration that we're vibrating at is what attracts and activates the law of attraction to manifest in our personal situation. And so when we feel something, and usually what happens is that when we feel something negative, we can tend to go pretty deeply into it. And because we go pretty deeply into it, it makes it makes an impression. When something negative happens, that can leave a deep impression in us. And we can get in a situation where we feel like, obviously we never want that to happen again, but as well, we can feel like, well, maybe we have to defend ourselves against that. Maybe there's something that we have to do to prevent that from ever happening again. And so what happens is we start to create at least a possibility that may occur again. And then if we stay with that too long, if we're thinking about that too long, if we're carrying that with us for too long, then it can become an expectancy. And of course, there's things that were experienced or maybe said unto us in our childhood, things that were spoken over us negatively, that we're never going to this, or we're never going to that, or we always are responsible for such and such negative thing happening. Again, it creates an expectancy in us that creates that type of experience over and over again. So it can be something as simple as the blessing of Oral Roberts, who simply said, something good is going to happen to you today, something good. And it's really, really neat and interesting how when sometimes we just make open statements like that, that it sometimes it leaves more opportunity for something that we may not have been expecting. Sometimes we get, and there's nothing wrong with getting specific, but if this is something, that we're just, new to, or something that we're just, starting to practice, it's always best to start with, something easy. And then we can, not that one thing is harder than the next, but if we're in a system, or if we're in a season, especially of negative expectancy, sometimes some of us, tend to, just go to the extreme and, try to heap a really, really big whopper of a breakthrough on there. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if we're in a situation where we're not used to manifesting, positive things, or, we've gone through maybe a dark period, a challenging period, where it's been tough, it's been a struggle, just having a simple statement, something good is going to happen to me today. Something good is going to happen to me today. Something good is going to happen to me today. And then whatever you notice as a good thing happening, there it is. It happened, and you can then begin to build and create a momentum based on that. And then next thing you know, you have a new expectancy in your life, and it's an expectancy that you've proved. You've tested, you've proved, and you've known that it works. And if something works in one area, since again we are vibrational beings living in a vibrational reality, a vibrational universe. If it works for one thing vibrationally, it'll work for everything vibrationally, because everything is vibrational. And lots of fun, lots of really, really interesting, things that you can manifest for yourself. And again, when we get in this type of momentum and we activate the reticular activating system, for those of you who don't know, it's a part of the brain that, when we recognize something, it continues to look for that exact same thing. A good example is, like if you buy a car, say you buy a red car of a certain make and model, and after you buy it, next thing you know, you see them everywhere. But before, maybe you only saw a few, or maybe it felt like you didn't even see any. But because it's already in your mind, and you're given the signal to your mind, the reticular activating system starts to seek out more of it. And that's also what can be at work in negative expectancy, because again, it doesn't discern between positive and negative. It really just goes after the signal that we send it. So there's a lot at work here, with our expectancy, but all things that we can manage, all things that we can adjust, that we can make adjustments to, and that we can fine tune to our own benefit. And again, since it's emotional, since it's mental, since it's operational of the mind, it's something that we can all choose, because all mind decisions are made through choice, for the most part. Of course, when we've had a lot of traumatic things, when we've experienced those, really, really heavy emotional things, we can slip out of consciousness. When I say slip out of consciousness, I mean we slip out of, our divine connection with Source. And of course, we never lose that connection. It's just that we're not aware of it at the moment. And so again, when our expectancy turns negative, and it's been a negative expectancy has had free reign for a period of time, what can happen is that, we really actually don't have choices like we should have, because that expectancy is already taken over, and we don't have the ability to make a different choice, because we've already believed that that's the only choice that can be made. And that also helps us to have mercy with others, to be forgiving, to give each other grace, because it's something that's happened, especially coming out of our wartime mentality after such a long time of that being programmed into our human DNA. It takes some work. It takes some discipline. It takes some effort on our part. But again, if we start small, just with, hey, something good is going to happen to me today, and allow that something good to happen, and recognize that it happened based on our confession, based on our belief, based on our affirmation, based on our opening up to different possibilities, and opening up to the reality of, if there's negative things that are happening and manifesting in our life based on what we believe and based on what we feel, well, then the same type of process works for positive things. And we can certainly apply the same chemistry, the same alchemy, the same faith, the same feeling, the same process, the same discipline, the same practice to manifest the positive in place of the negative, and be able to manifest our own personal authentic self. And so with that, Genothi Seutan, love, peace, blessing, all manner of happiness, goodness, and blessing, and many things good happening to you today. Shalom, namaste.